Good evening, everyone. Welcome to this February 22nd, 2022 monthly council meeting. And we have a couple of very special items on the agenda tonight, but I'd like to welcome members of the public, my deputy mayor and all fellow councillors. And we have Colin McLean here from the Journal Pioneer. And we have our CAO, Rob Philpott, and our Director of Finance, Kristen Dunsford. And I think I saw the fire chief here. Oh, he's over here, yes. And there may be some other directors. And Brian Herlick is on the left here, and he's running the controls for YouTube. So I'd like to welcome all the viewers on YouTube as well, and all of the reporters will be watching as well from, as you know, with YouTube now, it's a small world, so you never know where they're watching from. We did a Zoom meeting here a few months ago, and the people were watching from London, England area. They were purchasing a property in Summerside, and so anyway, welcome everybody to our special meeting tonight, our council meeting, and we'll continue on here. Is there a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Moved by
I'd like to make an amendment to the agenda.
by Councillor Adams. Go ahead.
I would like to remove 6C, Policy and Bylaw Review Committee Report, and also 6D1, Resolution COS 22-009.
So that's removed from the agenda. Moved by Councillor Adams. So that's the friendly amendment? Okay, thank you very much. So we'll continue back with that. Any conflicts of interest? I do not see any speaker lights on. So thank you. Is there a motion to approve the monthly council minute meetings of January 17, 2022? Moved by Deputy Mayor McColeman and seconded by Councillor McDougall. Any questions? All in favor say aye. Contrary nay. Carried. So we have two presentations. The first one is for the coldest night of the year presentation, which is a great project. And firefighter Corey Summers is... Oh yeah, right over here, sorry, with the masks and the hats. So maybe I'd call upon the Finance Chair to assist in the presentation. Deputy Mayor McColeman, so to come forward, and we'll make the presentation of $500 to Lifehouse Action Committee. I'll get my mask on here.
Your worship, he's a fire chaplain.
Fire chaplain as well, yes. Come on up, Carrie. Just like the TV show, come on down.
Want to go over there a little ways, or I'll go over by.
Where's the code director?
I think Carl wants to get a picture of this. The Journal Pioneer, it's great to have him back.
Yeah.
Are we too close to that?
Well, I never know what to tell people. Yeah, you got your mask on. I think it's okay. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, put it right here.
Thank you. So anybody like to say a couple words? Go ahead.
I saw your,
The podium's yours.
good evening, everyone. I just really would, you know, the community of Summerside, it just leaves me speechless sometimes. The generosity of this community and the willing participation and the support we have received for Lifehouse, the transitional housing and the emergency shelter. It's a bit overwhelming by times. This afternoon we were, because it's a virtual program this year, and we were doing a recording, and one of our sponsors was there with one of his workers, Hyman and Hickey. And just to hear the young woman speak, you know, she brought it to his attention, and she was a single parent. And just to hear a bit of her story, I said, this is why we're doing this. You know, sometimes it gets busy, sometimes you get tired, but it really just, it was moved me to tears. You know, I had said, it's just the heartstrings really get pulled at something like this. So the coldest night of the year walk, so important. We're so thankful to have all your support. And I know you have one councillor here who's really doing quite well with her sponsorship. So, well, yeah, no, more than one. I should be saying that, but one is quite outstanding for sure. So, again, thank you for this presentation. Thank you for the presentation. Corey, you're good. Just a little bit ago. Corey, did you want to say something? You're fine? Okay. Again, thank you for this. It's just, again, a bit more overwhelming sometimes, but thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lori.
Maybe if councillors want to say a couple words, we'll go around. If
Yes,
you
I
say
would
quickly.
like to.
Okay, we'll start there on this side then. Bruce?
Okay.
Councillor McDougall, sorry.
Thank you, Your Worship. I just want to congratulate you and on the Coldest Night of the Year project. It's awesome, and I know that I supported my fellow councillor here just because I had to. She threatened me, and I did. So we just wish you all the best, and I know that this is a great project, and the support that this Coldest Night of the Year has picked up is unbelievable. So all the best. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Ramsey?
Thank you, Lori and Corey, for everything you're doing for Lifehouse, and I'm honored to be part of it. And Corey called me a couple of weeks ago and asked me if I would do some fundraising for Coldest Night of the Year, and I thought, I'm not much for asking people for money, but this was close to my heart, and I made the decision that I was going to do it. And since that day, our team has raised almost $14,000, thanking everybody who participated in that and every single person that gave money. It has nothing to do with me. It has to do with everybody and the kindness of the people in Summerside who donated to this wonderful, wonderful project that's underway. And so the walk is on Saturday. I'm going to walk with a group of ladies, and then we're going out for lunch. So I know that some people, it's virtual, and so a lot of people aren't going to walk, but we're going to get our toques, and we're going to go ahead and walk. So anybody that feels like coming out on Saturday morning at 10 o'clock for us, it's from the Boys and Girls Club. But it's just a wonderful, wonderful project. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Councillor Ramsey. Greg, did you say hello? Greg Campbell. Councillor Campbell, I should say.
Supported this fellow, but it's like council around here. I do all the work and they take all the credit for it. But anyway, no, congratulations.
Thanks, Councillor Campbell. Councillor Snow from the Snow Team.
Thank you, Your Worship. Just congratulations to Lifehouse. It was, Corey just said to me, I was one of the first ones to get on board, and you know what, it's pretty easy to get on board good ideas. This is something that will definitely help many families within our community, and I'm not one bit surprised by the support that this has received. Yeah, it's just a great idea, and we have a great city here, so we support great ideas, and I'm not one bit surprised. Congratulations on all the hard work of everybody involved, and look forward to seeing what the future holds.
Thank you, Councillor Snow. Councillor Doiron.
Thank
Floor is
you,
yours, sir.
Your Worship. Sorry?
Floor is yours, sir.
Oh, the floor is mine. All right. I'm going to change this carpet out. Yeah, what everyone else said, certainly congratulations. And I know since the inception of the Lifehouse shelter, like you said, the support from the city, not the city, but the residents and the community itself has been outstanding, and it's really great to see that. I know I have a couple of transactions pending on a couple of teams. Neither one of these two have asked me for anything yet, but you just say the word and I'll donate. I'll add on to that big total. So yeah, thanks for not only this, but what you've done leading up to this, and what we all know you're gonna to do beyond this. And it's great to see, like I said, ever since it was the inception, it's been just nothing but support, and I'm very proud that everyone around this room is part of that, and I'm sure will continue to be until you're in business, ready to serve for years to come. So thanks very much, and congratulations, and I hope it's not too cold. Yeah. And anybody doing it virtually, I hope they at least put their air conditioning on and at least chill out a little bit that way. So thank you, congratulations, and look forward to see what comes next.
Thank you, Councillor Drawn. Councillor Adams?
Thank you, Your Worship. It's always hard when you get near the end because all the great things have already been said. But I know as a council, from the moment that the Lighthouse project was presented to us, everybody was behind it. There was never a doubt. And I know it's a great group that has spearheaded it, and there was never any question that you would be successful. So there's people have reached out from across the province and wondering where to donate, and I've sent them their way. So it's nice that the word is getting out and everybody wants to help. So thank you again.
Thank you, Councillor Adams. Councillor McFeely?
Thank you, Your Worship, and I guess I too just want to echo what others have said, and congratulations to both of you for just a fabulous piece of work. And as others have said, from day one, Council has supported the initiative. There's a great need in the community, and we recognize that. And Mary Jane and I will be walking. We have ourselves registered and raising. We're not in the big leagues in terms of the fundraising. My colleague is here, but we're doing our little piece. And I'll use this opportunity. Anybody does want to sponsor us, please feel free to go to the website and link in there and put your few cents in there. So we appreciate that very much. So thank you for all you're doing, and we look forward to working with you in the future.
Thank you, Councillor McFeely. Deputy Mayor McColeman?
Well, I guess there's been a lot of great comments made, and a big congratulations and a very big thank you for being here in Summerside to really support the region with those kinds of needs. You're going to touch many lives, and I think that means an awful lot to Mayor and Council and the people of Summerside. And I kind of don't have a team, but I feel like a big sister, and I had to partner with these two young whippersnappers, so I'll probably be joining maybe Barb or somebody for the walk. But anyway, congratulations and thank you for all you do.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor McColeman. And I'll just sum up here. I certainly want to say congratulations and thank you for all of the great work that you did to get this tied together. Unanimous support from all members of council and staff, and so thank you. And Pastor Corey Summers, he's a volunteer with our fire department, pastor for the fire department, and we appreciate you being a member, and we appreciate all your efforts. So,
And on our emergency.
oh yes, he's on the emergency planning committee, and so anyway, thank you to all, and good luck. And I plan to walk, and just to walk. I don't think I'm going to be jogging. And
you guys deserve a great round of
yes.
applause.
Thank you. So we'll continue on with the meeting, and everybody's welcome to stay for the presentations, as well as you're welcome to stay for the meeting too. And we have another very special presentation to make. Bernie Gallant, what more can we say? Bernie, our city has been blessed with so many great volunteers over many years. But Bernie Gallant was chosen the Volunteer of the Year for Summerside. And so if I could read this into the minutes. Bernie, maybe we'll get you to come forward when stand up here and when reading this into the minutes. Yeah, Bernie is not shy. He's used to standing in the front of the room, the classroom, for 30 plus years. And
It's not the same in front of adults.
is that right? Anyway, Bernie, that's great. But the Volunteer of the Year award is presented to Summerside residents who have made an outstanding contribution to life in the city through their extensive volunteer service. I keep my trifocals adjusted here. Please join me along with council in congratulating Bernie Gallant on this award. Bernie Gallant has been a member of the St. Eleanor's Lions Club for over 40 years. He has also been an active member with the Christmas hampers for over 40 years. Bernie has volunteered with the Children's Wish Foundation, the Boys and Girls Club, Relay for Life, and the Seniors Housing in St. Eleanor's. He also actively sells tickets for the annual 300 draw for the St. Eleanor's Lions Club, as well as assisting with annual suppers. His passion for volunteering and eagerness to help others in need has touched so many lives. During his 30-year career as a teacher, he coached soccer, participated in junior mayor and council, two examples of his education-based volunteering. And besides that, I believe he was involved in the police teachers' hockey games, but we'll get into that after. Yeah. A former student contributed a letter of support for his nomination, declaring that Bernie, through his caring nature, warmth, support, and willingness to listen, will forever be one of her biggest influences. Congratulations to Bernie Gallant as the City of Summerside's Volunteer of the Year for 2021. So we'll come forward here. This will be the keeper plaque, and we'll have assistance. If somebody will come forward here. I believe Councillor Snow with the Community Services Chair. Community Services and Roads on. Oh, my mask is right here. Where is it?
That's all right. You just don't want to deal with the phone calls.
Same here. We should read this into the minutes, eh? But anyway, Volunteer of the Year presented to Bernie Gallant in recognition of outstanding volunteer commitment to Summerside from the Mayor and Council. 2021 Volunteer of the Year. So I believe she may want to.
Can you step away
Yeah,
from the...
yeah, okay.
We don't want to be like the window washer on the 17th floor who stood back to buy his work.
No. What? Not too close for her.
Not without my mask, sorry.
So that's your keeper plaque. And
Thank you.
the other ones,
Please.
there's all the great names for the former members. We may as well read them in the minutes, because you're with quite a crowd here. Where's the first one here?
2003.
Yeah, Helen and Lloyd Cantelow, Sandy Rundle, Stewart, well,
Right.
he's a member of your
Yeah.
Lions Club.
Right.
Susan and Mario Zamboni, Cliff Poirier, Credit Union Place Volunteers, Salvation Army Volunteer Corps, Harold Gallant, the Royal Canadian Legion, the Lest We Forget Committee, Roger Ahern, Joe Borden, Art and Marion Lockhart, Warren Ellis, Elma Noy, Dawn Reed, Donna Louise Rogerson, and Jim Steele, and Sue Gallant. And this year, it's Bernie Gallant. And a new plaque.
Oh my
They'll
God.
be hanging proudly in the lobby of City Hall for people to observe. And the floor is yours, Bernie, to speak.
Oof.
Councillor.
Anyway, better take a deep breath.
Okay, it's okay. This is your night and you've got lots of time.
Yeah. Thank you, Basil. When he called me the other day, I was totally shocked. It's something I didn't expect, and I have to accept it because somebody thought, I guess, I was worthy of getting it. I better just settle down. Anyway, it's an honor to be recognized, but I look around and there's a lot more people that could be recognized just as well as me, or groups and other people, but I hope someday it becomes their turn. First of all, I want to thank my family, especially my wife Annette, for putting up with me through good times and bad. and I hope there was more good ones than bad ones. And all the kids that I have here tonight, Bernadine, Paula, Stephen, and their partners, Jessica, Gary. Mike's not here, but I got 4 beautiful grandchildren. They all compete who's the best, from Lily to Tyler to Gabriel to Emily. Gabriel and Tyler, they kind of fight, but I think Tyler wins because he's a little taller, eh, Gabriel? Eh, right? But they're precious, and without them, I wouldn't be here. I guess helping people came from early in life when I grew up in a small community, and there was need for help because things were difficult for a couple of years, and neighbors helped neighbors, and I guess that becomes a part of who you are. And when I came to Summerside first, I want to thank the kids, the students I had. Barb was one of them, and there was others, Carrie's husband, Sean, and there's others and many others. But I started in Muscush and was 29 years at SIS, but they were desperate good to me, and I hope I was a bit good to them. I probably missed some, but I tried. I always tried to remember how I got to where I got and who helped me along the way. And then I wouldn't want to mention, or it'd be all day, I'd be 2 days, I'd be 3 days trying to mention everybody that supported me and helped me, and the great friends that I've met since I came to Summerside. But the kids, they were very, very special to me. Some of the things that I participated in were, as was mentioned, the Relay for Life. A proud moment was one time, I think it's about 20 years ago, Brian probably wouldn't remember better, but the first year we started it, it was just a bunch of people got together. We put 60-some teams together with 10 to 15 people to a team, and we raised $186,000.
Whoa.
And the next year, Brian was the chairman and run a great show, and we raised $176,000. And I think that was the year that the credit union place was built, because I remember the motorhomes coming in, and there was a lot of potholes and things of that nature. But another interesting thing about that time too was West Isle High School was the highest high school in Canada for fundraising for the Relay for Life. And Kensington was the 3rd highest. So that Prince County that year probably raised $500,000, which Prince County can be pretty proud of. Another thing I worked with was Children's Wish, and again, I'd have never done it if people didn't support you and give you donations or contributions. But there was one gentleman, one year it was the 30th anniversary, and I wanted to raise $3,000, and this guy gave me $200. You know him, he's a very generous person in the community here, but he doesn't live right in Summerside. And he heard that I wanted to raise $3,000, and he told me, he said, if you get handy and don't get it, I'll finish it off. So people like that you don't forget. And of course the Lions Club, I kicked around there for a long time. I have a good friend here tonight that we co-chaired the Christmas hamper thing, which to me was very important. And without him, I wouldn't have done it. And help from all the Lions members too as well. But the big thing too with the hampers that we have to realize that I wished I could mention the people, the organizations, the groups, the people that supported us. But I got to mention one school that the year it was built, which was 1977. They've adopted 15 families from that time till this year. And it didn't make any difference who the principal was or the vice principal. they just continue to do it. And without them and other people, like I said, and organizations and businesses, the project would never exist. We could never, ever afford to do what people have done. And I'd love to mention names, but I can't, because I'd be leaving somebody else out. So with all of that, thank you. But I got something else I want to say. It's a little more fun. Years ago, nobody knows this, but well, maybe some of you do. Gallant probably would, but because he's a little older than I am. Basil Stewart, you know, is quite a hockey player. Actually, he's professional, really, because there's not too many people in Summerside played on the same team as Dave Schultz, Eddie Shack, Doug Harvey, Harold Thompson. So the thing with Basil, he was a defenseman, eh? And it was comical. It was the starting lineup. Oh, by the way, what it was a teachers and police hockey game that we used to do. It was, the proceeds were for the children's ward at the Prince County Hospital. And the policemen always had a celebrity in, but we had some celebrities too. We had guys like Ronnie Carragher and Billy Weatherby, and they never beat us very often, but the score didn't really count. Of course, if we had to put Smitty in nets, they'd have never scored a goal on us, but the starting lineup for our team was, I was on right wing, George Matthews center, and Tom Frazier left wing, and I had a hard time standing up. And Basil played defense, and my God, he was hard to get around. I hit him one night, and I landed up in center ice. So I didn't try that again. I had a hard time standing up, so all I did was pass the puck to George Matthews, and he did all the scoring. But it was a lot of fun, and whatever. So I just thank everybody, and I thank especially my family. Thank you kindly.
Thanks, Bernie. Just wait there, we'll go around, just wait at the podium. We're going to go around the table here, because I would imagine some of the councillors might want to say a few words. And I do remember those hockey games. And one night Eddie Shack ran over me, and my leg was sore for about 6 months. And remember that song, "Here, clear the track, here comes Shack"? Well, I didn't get out of the way, even though he was on the same team. But anyway, Bernie, your efforts from the school and the teachers, and God rest his soul, he's gone now, Wendell Shaw. I think he played some in the nets, but we had a great fundraiser going there for a number of years for the police and the teachers to get together and just have a fun hockey game and draw some good crowds and get great donations. And we always bought a piece of equipment for the hospital, and Bernie was right there, boys, pushing to make sure it happened, and great memories. And maybe some year, hopefully the police department and the teachers will get it going again, because it was a few extra dollars, quite a few extra dollars for the hospital, and a lot of young policemen now, and there's probably a few retired from the NHL that we could get back. But anyway, we'll go around the table here, and we'll start off, Deputy Mayor McColeman.
We have to learn very quickly that our mayor loves to engage with the community and for us to talk. So Bernie, I just want to congratulate you very much. Thank you for all of your service, all of the things that you've done, and you can tell just when you were speaking tonight, it's from your heart. And I think our community is very fortunate to have a volunteer such as yourself, but I'm also going to add Annette, because as a couple, I think you're a big influence on many families. And I know in my former job, Annette and some of the women at the Catholic Women's League certainly helped us a lot. And so thank you for both of you, and thank you to you as Volunteer of the Year.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. Councillor McPherson.
Thank you, Your Worship. I can appreciate that you may have had a few extra strides to get by the mayor when playing defense.
Extra riff.
Anyways, Bernie, you and I have worked on a few projects together over the years, and for me, I just find that you were the consummate volunteer, and you're looking for volunteers, you're looking for people that are honest and dependable, committed, enthusiastic, and bring intensity to whatever it is you're doing, and I found that it didn't matter what you were involved in, those were the attributes that you brought to the table, and I very much appreciated that and the things that we worked on together, and I know that behind you, Annette was there, and I've known Bernie and Annette for many, many years, and her families kind of grew up together too, so a lot of relationships there, and how much we've appreciated that, and I know you had a few of my kids in SIS over the years, and had heard nothing but extremely positive things from them. So just thank you for all you've done for this community, and I know one thing for sure, that Summerside is a whole lot better place because of the time and effort that you have put into it. So thank you very much.
Thanks, Bernie. Councillor Adams.
Thank you, Your Worship. Congratulations, Bernie. The first time I ever met Bernie, I think, was at Mike and Bernadine's house, and Sean had filled me in and said, you know, he gave me the whole background, and just a great guy. So I guess the way I look at it, if you're a teacher and somebody's, you know, I guess middle age, and he's still saying you were a great teacher and you made an impact on so many kids, that it wasn't a job for you, it was obviously something that you love to do. And when you said that it was, you know, it was a surprise, well, those are the best ones, whenever you go about your day and you're just doing good for everybody else and you're looking for nothing in return. So I think that pretty much sums you up from what I've heard. So congratulations.
Thank you. Councillor Doiron.
Thank you, Your Worship. Bernie, you like to talk. I don't know how you ever got through the curriculum sometimes. No, I was never lucky enough to make the cut. I started SIS in grade 8, and I think your class was right across the hall, and even at the time, a lot of I know that you were you know, one of the favorites at the time, and for years before and years beyond as well. I think some of my relatives were taught by you, but like I said, I never lucked out, and who knows what I could have become had I fallen under the, who knows. Yeah, no, you're if you were to write a resume today, I'm sure the volunteer section would be pages and pages and pages, and you're every year, I think I guess it's the selection committee, whoever, you know, they nail it every time, and this year was no exception. True servant to the community, and I'm glad we're able to appreciate that tonight and recognize that here tonight. Well deserved, well earned. You've left the world a better place for these two to grow up in, and I think we all thank you, and glad to see you here. And again, perfect selection, nailed it. And I wish I could have been your student, but I guess there's still time.
Thank you, Councillor Doiron. Councillor Snow.
Mr. Gallant, thank you so much for, I can't call you Bernie, well I just did, but I can't. Just really thank you for your many years of contributing to our community. I was fortunate enough for about 10 plus years to be involved with the Boys and Girls Club as president and various other roles, and I know Mr. Binkley reached out to you lots when we had any events, whether or not it was golf tournament or any other fundraising events that we needed, and you put lots of hours in there. I just, it's people like you that really make an impact on this community. We have, like you said earlier, we have tons of great volunteers, and lots probably deserve to be recognized, but you definitely deserve to be recognized, and that's why you're here tonight. So thank you for your many years. Again, I wasn't fortunate enough to have you in SIS. I had Mr. Matthews and Mr. Smitty, but didn't get a chance to have you as a teacher. But definitely your reputation at the school was always one that was very positive. So thank you for everything you've done for our community over the years. Thanks.
Thank you, Councillor Snow. Councillor Campbell, who was a great goaltender in his day, so maybe we slipped up by not having you in the net.
Congratulations, Bernie. Really Probably always got that big fat smile. I'm just trying to think. How old are you? You taught Barb Ramsey?
She's just a kid.
Congratulations, Bernie, really. It's nice to see real good volunteers in the community, and you're one of the best. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Campbell. Councillor Ramsey.
We would have been more concerned if we would have taught you, eh, Greg? Well, Bernie, you know, he was certainly my favorite teacher and still one of my favorite people. And he has done so much for this community, and I always try to support Bernie when he's selling his tickets and this and that. So, talking about the coldest night of the year, I had someone come into my house a couple of weeks ago to give me some money for coldest night of the year. And we got to talking, and I said, you know, I'm always, who can I call? Who can I call? Because I'm looking to raise money. I said, I can call Bernie. That person said to me, you could. He said, I don't know anyone in Summerside, 10 volunteers put together, could do as much as Bernie Gallant does. This is what he said to me. And I said, you know what, you're right. I can't call him because he's so kind. He gives every possible way that he can. I'm not calling him. We then had a further discussion. This person decided he wanted to nominate. And he said, Barb, how do I go about that? So I came down and I saw the mayor. And he said, you know what? The deadline's tomorrow. So I called this person and I said, the deadline's tomorrow. He said, will you get the form for me? Because he's one of the best people that I know. And his name is Clayton Ellis. And that's who nominated you. And it's important for you to know that because I know how much you think of Clayton. And he recognizes everything you do as well as everybody in this place and so many people in Summerside. But anyway, Clayton got the work done and we handed it in and we were like, okay, now we just have to wait. And then the mayor said one day, Bernie's alive. And I was like, oh, I was so excited. So anyway, that's how it all unfolded. I know most people know that story when they're nominated and I know you didn't know. So I just wanted to let you know how cared you are, how cared for you are by your friends and certainly by your family. And council appreciates everything you do, and I love you.
Thank you. And Councillor McDougall, I believe one of your fellow Lions. The floor
Yes.
is yours.
Thank you, Your Worship. Well, Bernie, sorry I didn't have you for a teacher, but I've been honored. I've been honored and blessed to have you as a friend for a long time. And you know, when the announcement was made the other day, my phone rang, and it was Sir Bernie, and he was telling me how there was a whole lot of other people that was worthy of this award rather than him, and of course I disagreed with him. And Bernie has been a fellow Lion, for 40 years. I haven't been there that long, and but he's been a fellow Lion, and he's one of the reasons why the Lions are still in existence in St. Eleanor's, because if it wasn't for this guy selling the 300 tickets, we'd be in trouble. So I want to thank you, Bernie. But that's just one thing that you do. And I just text Chris, my son, and he wanted to say thank you. You had him as a student. But no, I want to congratulate you and to your family, Annette family. You should be very proud of this guy standing up here, because we are. And you know, Bernie, the world's a better place because of people like you. And thank you and congratulations.
Thank you, and I'll just sum up here. I guess we mentioned quite a few things, but what Brian had said, and you, Bruce, that you know, our world is a better place and our city is a better place, and our island, and far and wide, because of your efforts. You help a lot of people, you know, whether it's through the Lions Club or the Children's Wish, so it's far and wide, and if we had more Bernie Gallants in this world, we'd be better off. So on behalf of council, again, congratulations, and you're welcome to stay for some of the meeting, and relax in the front row there. So, and this will be your keeper plaque.
Yeah.
And if you want anything further to say, feel free to do so.
Just one comment, thanks Clayton. I met Clayton a few years ago, well, 25, 30 years ago, and it was actually at the gym, and we became heavily involved in working with that, and it was a part of something that I wished I had 60 years ago. It's not that I didn't work, but after teaching all day, he'd call me up some days and say, we're going to the gym, and I'd say, oh my God, I hope he doesn't call. And you go out, you'd have the best workout of the week, and
I was there a few times when you were there.
yes, you were. You were good on bench press. But anyway, thanks very much, Clayton. You're a true friend. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we'll continue on with the meeting. And I don't have anything under correspondence tonight. There were a lot of invitations and those kinds of things. But we'll continue on. The financial services report by the deputy mayor. Oh, do you want to take a minute? Oh, sorry.
I think they're just leaving there.
Sure, we'll take a couple of minutes here for people to. Yes, sir.
Just so we go say, shake a hand.
Yeah. Brian, would you just put us on hold there for a minute? Pardon?
Thanks for the kind words, guys.
Congratulations, Brian. Okay, Brian, whenever you want to connect us, I guess we'll continue on. Collins, great to have you with us tonight. Yeah, Brian's getting us reconnected here. Okay, we're back on. We had a little adjournment there after those two special presentations. We'll continue on with our council meeting. And the Deputy Mayor McColeman, you have a financial services report and, I believe, a resolution.
Thank you, Your Worship. I do have a resolution to read after my report. And I'll just start with the finance. I'd like to say good evening to my fellow colleagues on City Council, as well as to the businesses and the residents within the City of Summerside. We are projecting to report a consolidated surplus of $12,595 for the 2021-22 fiscal year and do not anticipate any significant variances prior to March 31st, 2022. The preparation of our 2022-23 capital and operating budgets is well underway. We have been deliberating on the 2022-23 budget and will be presenting this budget to business and residents on Wednesday, March 9th, 2022 at 6:30 p.m. Council will vote on the budget at a meeting scheduled for Thursday, March 31st, 2022 at 12 noon. A few reminders to our utility customers. Point number 1, a customer portal is available where you can review your account details, access your utility bills, and make payments by credit card or Visa debit. Please see our website at www.summerside.ca and click on My Utilities in the top right-hand corner to access this portal. Or if you prefer, you can contact the City Finance Department at 902-432-1230, and we can send you an invitation to create your account. Point number 2 is that we do offer a budget billing program which will calculate a fixed monthly installment that is based on your prior 12-month billing. The application form is available on our website. Point number 3, until March 31st, 2022, we will continue to accept applications from Maritime Electric customers, both residential and businesses, who are within our municipal boundary to rebate for the additional cost for your January, February, and March 2021 utility bills. This rebate is being offered as Maritime Electric applied the rate increase effective January 1st, 2021, and Summerside Electric made the rate increase effective on April 1st, 2021. The rebate application form is available again on our website. The link can be found in the upper right-hand corner of the website, and a copy of your utility bills must be submitted. The approved credit will be processed on your next water and sewer utility bill, and if you do not have a water and sewer bill with the City of Summerside, a check will be issued. If you receive your electricity from Summerside Electric, you are not eligible for this rebate, as the electric rate adjustment was not effective until April 1st, 2021. And now at this time I'd like to update on the status of our utility accounts receivable. As of February 14th, 2022, the following is being reported. Total overdue balance is $208,100 compared to $178,700 on January 10th, 2022. Approximately 7.5% or $15,500 of the overdue balance is greater than 60 days old, and this compares to 6% or $10,700 on January 10th, 2022. We are encouraging customers who have outstanding utility balances and have not requested a payment arrangement to contact Financial Services at 902-432-1230. Collections notices are being mailed out and customers are being reminded to address these notices as they are received. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank you for being able to present this finance report, and either myself or the Chief Financial Officer, Director Kristen Dunsford, will be available to take your questions. And for the members of council, included in your package of information, there is a projection by fund as of January 31st, which gives a detailed description of all of the departments for revenue, expenses, as well as the operating surplus. And there is that deficit of the $12,595, which I mentioned in the beginning of my report. In the capital projections as of January 31st, 2022, again, there is a detailed breakdown of all of the various departments, as well as fire services and the utility funds for the total capital expenditures. And that concludes my report, Your Worship, and I do have a resolution.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor, for your report. Any questions? I do not see any question lights on, so I understand you have a resolution.
Yes, I do. Resolution number COS 22-008, moved by myself, Councillor Norma McColeman, seconded by Vice Chair Councillor Brian McFeely. Whereas the City of Summerside entered into a memorandum of understanding for municipal funding with the Government of Prince Edward Island for a term of April 1st, 2017 to March 31st, 2022. And whereas the Government of Prince Edward Island has approved a one-year extension to March 31st, 2023, with all other terms and conditions, schedules and amendments of and to the Memorandum of Understanding remaining the same. The tax credit rate for 2021-22 will remain unchanged for 22-23. Be it resolved that Council authorizes the Mayor and the Chief Administrative Officer to sign the Memorandum of Understanding for municipal funding extension with the Government of Prince Edward Island.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor McColeman. Just for John Q. Public to understand, when it says the tax credit rate for 21 and 22 will remain unchanged, give us just a sort of a Reader's Digest version of Mr. CAO and what does exactly that means, just for the information of the public.
Certainly, Your Worship. The tax credit rate that's referred to in that resolution is that all municipalities have a funding agreement with the province of PEI, where the province provides what we'll call base level funding to municipalities based on a certain, I'll say, grouping or basket of services that each municipality offers, whether it's police, recreation, and that sort of thing. And this is a rate that a tax credit rate that the City of Summerside and the City of Charlottetown, the province's two cities, receive the same rate. And this is an agreement that's been in place now for about 3 or 4 years, and we've been in negotiations with the province to come up with a new arrangement. This extension is intended to give all municipalities, including Summerside, a little bit more time to hopefully come to a new agreement with the province.
Thank you. Okay, been moved and seconded. Do you have something further before we vote?
Seconded? No, go ahead.
All in favor, say aye. Contrary, nay. Motion carried. Thank you.
And Your Worship, I do have one very brief comment for the community.
Go ahead.
I wanted to take this opportunity to recognize and congratulate several couples. I'd like to congratulate Noel and Marie Lyon, who have been married for 72 years. They met in 1949 and married in April 1950. They are neighbors and members of the ward. And Noel was studying law, and then he was studying to be a pilot at the former CFB Summerside when the couple first met. So congratulations to them. There is an article that's been printed in the Saltwire Journalist by Kristen Gardner. And the other couple that lives in Summerside, formerly from Kensington area, is they were together together 69 years, and they're 70 years. They've been married 69 years, and that's Ethel and Austin Pendergast. And I love the article that it said about them, that they're still deeply in love after 70 years. So congratulations to those two couples. gives
Thank-
the rest of us hope.
Thank you. And speaking of that, next week, there's a couple, Mr. and Mrs. Allen Crew, Summerside will be having their 60th. So I have an invitation to that, and so congratulations there. They still live in their home in Winter Street. Okay, anything further, Councillor, Deputy Mayor?
Thank you.
Okay, we'll continue on. Item number 6, HR, Legal Affairs, Culture, Summerside Policy Bylaw Review Committee Chair, Councillor Adams.
Thank you, Your Worship. It's a nice surprise. Usually I'm near the end, so this is great. So HR Legal Affairs, Joint Occupational Health and Safety Committee, as well as department subcommittees continue to meet on a regular basis. The department provided support at various meetings this month. Congratulations to Bob Irving, who retired on February 1st with over 34 years with the City of Summerside. Congratulations are also extended to Fred Horn, who also retired on February 1st. He had 19 years with the city. Some staff activity challenges are continuing throughout the winter months, and applications are being accepted for an engineering student for the summer months. That would be with technical services and the customer service positions at the CUP. That's it for that one.
On your report? And you haven't got any resolutions?
Nope, I'm good.
Do you have another report?
I do. I have Culture Summerside. The Culture Summerside report prepared by Lori Ellis. The Mayor's Heritage Tea is scheduled for March the 25th. It's a little bit later this year because we put it off, so COVID numbers will hopefully allow us to have a 75% capacity because it's very well attended. 12 City of Summerside Heritage and Culture Awards will be presented at the tea. I believe, was it last year, our one and only Councillor McDougall received his? Was that just last year? Year before, yeah. So, and the tea will be opportunity to mark the 100th anniversary of the Prince County War Memorial found in Memorial Square. Update on the Summerside Armory renovation project. The program staff have been working on researching and writing exhibit content for the new exhibit space. Some of this work is done in partnership with community members and organizations. The Summerside Armory renovation project is nearing completion, with most of the remaining work being exhibit development, installation, cleanup, and some outside work that is dependent on the weather, which hasn't cooperated in that area lately. Culture and project staff are working around the clock and on weekends to finish up the project as quickly as possible.
Speaking of that, just to throw this in, do you have an official opening date yet, or still working on that?
No, she was still working on it. Just it kept getting pushed back with the availability of products, as well as a lot of contractors are running into. So there was a few delays there, but they're working on what they can to in the meantime.
So you're looking at a month or two?
Yeah, and we're actually meeting, Your Worship, we meet tomorrow with Lori and Culture Summerside,
Okay.
so.
Thank you.
Yeah. Due to COVID-19 restrictions on in-person assemblies in schools, Culture Summerside celebrated National Flag Day through a virtual video on YouTube, which was advertised across the country. 60 Days of Fame exhibition series called You Can't Drink It is now at the Lafergie Cultural Center. The paintings on display are created using coffee. This exhibition is by Summerside artist Benita Nichols. And also we'll be discussing tomorrow when we meet, but just a quick update is on the Summerside Lobster Carnival 22. Work is underway to develop the Lobster Carnival event, and work on the development of partnerships and sponsors will continue through the next few months. The 22 Summerside Lobster Carnival dates are July 7th, 8th, and 9th, and program details to be announced and will follow CPHO guidelines.
Hopefully this year we can get an extra day or two for the carnival, but that'll be discussed tomorrow.
Yes,
And do you know if there's anything, is there anything confirmed yet regarding the governor's plate race? If it's going to be Carnival Week or the first or the beginning, or because of the change of...
Dates have been agreed upon, I think.
Yeah, the dates, just want to refer to CPA.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that date had been confirmed, but it's, I think it's in line with what we had last year in terms of the timing of the event.
Okay, we'll get some more information on it tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow, and yes, we're just sort of a day early presenting the report when we're meeting with Lori tomorrow, so.
Right. Thank you.
Just before I sit back down, I just wanted to send our deep condolences on to the family of Carolyn Rowe-Turner. Carolyn was an amazing coworker and a really great teacher, and she will be missed. Even today at work, there was a few people in, and just, you know, and even though we haven't been all together through COVID, it was very, you know what, just her, when you knew when she was around, her quiet way of just being there. She never made a big production, but you always knew her kindness was in the building and being felt. And I think that, I don't know the boys, Charlie, Owen, and Finn, but I believe from everything that everybody said, they're great boys. And John, you know, he touches so many lives with the work he does as well in the system. So I know SIS and Elm Street and our, you know, our sporting community are really feeling the loss, because she was there cheering on the kids, I mean, more than the parents some days. So, but she was strong, and she was, from what we know of her last days, she was very, very ready and very, very willing to move on to the next phase. So we want to wish the family all the best. It's a hard time, no matter how quick or how long it takes to get there. So that's it.
Thank you, Councillor Adams. And we'll continue on here, moving right along. Tech Services, Councillor Doiron, the floor is yours, sir. Have a report?
I do, Your Worship. Thank you. I'd like to thank Aaron McDonald, the Director of Tech Services, for preparing this for tonight. It'll be the first one of the year. The preparations for the 2022 construction season are underway. Staff are continuing in the process of preparing budgets for 2022 capital projects. Staff have started the preliminary stages of designing and preparing some tenders for next season. This work will continue over the next couple of months. It is anticipated that the first few tenders will go out in late March, early April, to be ready for May construction starts. And when I refer to this as being the first for the year, I guess I just mean it's the reporting for January. So, that being said, last year we had the grand total of building permits up at just under $74 million. So that's the high score to beat. We'll clear the slate, and for this month we are up to $1 million for January. We've issued a 4-unit townhouse, residential renovation, 1 sign and 1 demolition permit. Staff have continued to work with developers and residents in order to complete inspections on their existing projects from 2021, as those construction projects are continuing on throughout the winter. Developers are stopping in and speaking to staff for assistance with their proposed projects for 2022, and residents are also encouraged to ask for assistance with their projects that they may have planned for 2022. And that concludes the monthly report for January 2022.
Thank you, Councillor Doiron. Any questions for the Chair of Tech Services? I do not see any speaker lights on, so if you have anything further, is that it?
That's everything I have for tonight, Your Worship. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Doiron. Councillor McFeely, Economic Development Report. Sir.
Thank you, Your Worship. I have a brief report tonight. First of all, just want to thank Director Mike Tuska for the report, and I think the first thing I'd like to talk about a little bit is the Granville Street project. As a quick update, and I know folks have been asking about that because they're not seeing much happening on the outside, but there's lots happening on the inside. So just to bring people up to date, the abatement of the former Holland College seems to be on track and on budget. Zone 1 of the 4 areas that have to be abated is complete. And that's basically the old classroom part, I believe, complete of and totally abated of contamination. And now the contractor is turning their attention to Zone 2. Occupational health and safety have completed several visits to the site, and are pleased with the process, as well as our contractor undertaking the remediation project. residents should start seeing this spring, probably May, June, see a physical transformation of the site and start to see when the actual demolition of the structure gets started. So once this is complete, the site will be home to a 53,000 square foot collaborative health center that we're really excited about welcoming to Summerside. So the Sunbank project, our contract, the prime contractor is Aspen Kent. Further, to date, over 26% of the monies expended have been locally based island companies, something that the city wanted to ensure and was a key priority for this transformative project. It's very specialized kind of work, so there's not a whole lot of, in some cases, the supply of stuff is just not available locally, but we're making significant efforts to ensure that we buy local wherever possible. So it's anticipated over 50% of all expenditures will be on island, and will include many trades and professionals on the island, including but not limited to engineering, GIS, electricians, general contractors, etc. And this will all be coordinated by Aspen Kent and Associates. Further, Aspen Kent has committed to invest an additional $10 million outside of direct expenditures with the construction of the project. And that will include further business collaborations with post-secondary institutions, and including OJT opportunities for students and scholarships and learning opportunities, as well as significant investment in research and development in renewable and alternative fuels is expected. The work has begun, and the long lead time on procurement of materials is done. The group is finalizing the engineering and the site preparations, and people will start to see the actual physical work begin this spring on site. The project is set to be completed by December 31st, 2022, barring any major supply chain issues, and we've all heard about those. So, as discussed, we were right from the start instituted the value-added section to the RFP that ensures our community is directly benefit from this project, as well as ensuring we leverage this project for additional economic development in the city. Again, an estimated $10 million in addition to the $65 million for the project. The Summerside Exchange, which is a business accelerator platform, has made significant progress in the few short months that it's been active. Currently, we have one European company fully contracted to undertake research and development in wind technologies in partnership with WeCan, and another finalizing their due diligence on a heating savings pilot project at Slemon Park. So we're pleased that hopefully we'll have two new companies doing their work in Summerside area. Summerside stats. Summerside continues to see significant positive indicators in regards to population growth and business diversification. We still have a ways to go, but certainly the work of the organization is paying off. Our population, as reported by StatsCan, has seen its highest increase in 25 years. Our commercial and industrial continues to show tight vacancy rates, indicating positive signs for further investment. The latest status showed a good growth in Summerside, which is very positive and a great sign. Concerning, though, is that our growth rate hasn't kept pace with some of the other growing communities in the province. So I think we need to keep our eye on that ball and continue our efforts to try to grow the population. So that kind of wraps up my report, Your Worship. So
Thank you, Councillor Feely. Any questions for the chair of Councillor Campbell?
I'd just like to add on a little bit to Brian's report, on the Sunbank thing. We're going to be doing contract work in the middle of March. We're going to be able to see, and I was talking to some of the boys, adding or ordering material used to take 3 to 4 weeks. It's about 6 months now to get.
Yeah, it's the whole supply chain challenges that exist out there. So, and that's one of the reasons why our group was sort of ahead of the, trying to get ahead of things there and ensuring that things were ordered in plenty of time. So, but there's no question and no doubt that there will be challenges as we move forward. So, say the completion date is December 2022, and everybody's working towards that, but there's always that sort of red flag out there around the supply chain issues. So, thank you for raising that, Councillor.
Thank you, Councillor McPhail. I just want to mention, just add to what you said there. I'm sorry, Deputy.
No, it's fine.
I was up there last week cruising around, and I was talking to one of the supervisors that the people from Halifax, they have 7 full-time employees staying here in Summerside working on removing the asbestos. And he said exactly what you said. You know, they got one portion finished, but there could be another couple of months at least before they finish the other side, plus the basement. And it could be a couple of months before they see the bulldozers in there. But it's certainly great to see the 7 people working there all winter. And thank you for that report. And we'll see quite a change when the bulldozers move in come spring. I believe Deputy Mayor McColeman.
All of the report is very, very good, Councillor Bryan. The one point that I want to make is when you mentioned Aspen Kent. It's just great because, you know, an island firm, 30-plus years, very, very consistent and experienced, and I'm really pleased to hear you mention that there would be different components like on-the-job training components and students and those kinds of aspects for young people to really get a hand on that type of work. So that was good, very positive.
Yeah, we're really excited about the partnership with Aspen Kent, not only an island firm, but their tentacles go around the world really, and the expertise that they bring to the project is exceptional, so we're excited by that.
Thank you. I do not see any other speaker lights on. So we'll continue on. I believe Councillor Ramsey of Police and Fire and Emergency Planning report.
I do. Good evening, Your Worship, fellow councillors, staff. I'd like to take this opportunity to recognize and praise our police services and our firefighters and their heroic efforts that they put forward this month towards a fire on Central Street. I, as well as other members of council, have received a number of phone calls in regard to those heroic actions of these first responders. And we just can't say enough to them in what they battle on a regular basis. And our own Councillor Justin was there that night. And by the time he got here, he was pretty spent looking, pretty tired looking and pretty exhausted. And you know, we're just so honored to have people like you, Justin, on our team and on, with the firefighters and police services. And thank you for that. And I've been in touch with the family, and in fact, they're living really close to me, and I kind of keep an eye on them, and they're wonderful people, and they're very, very, very grateful. So anyway, I wanted to pass that on. The other thing I'd just like to mention is passing of a very good friend of mine, and Vicki Henderson. And Vicki is the wife of Ted Henderson, former CEO of our SRDC organization. And I just want to give my deepest condolences to that family. They're my family as well. And anyway, I do that. And I'm going to go into police services, if that's
Thank you. Any questions
okay,
for the fire report?
Anything yet
I do not
before I
see.
start? No? Okay. So, so this first report is Summerside Police Services, committee and volunteer work. Members continue to attend meetings for the Bridge Program, Criminal Intelligence PEI, Crime Stoppers, MCPEI, Indigenous Justice Advisory Committee, and other provincial organizations. Training and service. Use of force training as per the Police Act was scheduled for the month of January, but with the COVID restrictions, this could not be completed. The call volume was down in January with 3 major snowstorms on the weekends. We also shut down front desk services and criminal record checks for 2 weeks due to the changes in the public health orders. That's the other thing I guess I need to mention is to thank these guys, these police services and first responders, and with these storms that we've had, it's just been unbelievable. So I want to thank them for all their work they've done in that. I know the firefighters were staying at the fire hall for a number of weekends and are eating lots of good food and responding to calls and just being together as a team, and you know, thank you. And they're just volunteers, and they're out there, you know, doing for us what we much appreciate. Community policing activities. Our police services is involved with the PEI Integrated Impaired Driving Enforcement Initiative. This is a provincially funded program involving all police agencies on PEI. They work together one night every weekend with RCMP, Kensington Police, and Highway Safety, conducting road checks in the Summerside region and western part of the island. The program will run from January till the end of March 2022. The statistics, the following is a list of some of the occurrence totals for the month of January. Calls for service were down. They were 437, and the reason they were down, I guess, is because of all the snowstorms we had, and they didn't have to be out and about quite as much. Traffic accidents were 18. Reported crimes of assault and threats were 24. Theft reports were 27. Impaired driving offenses were 3. Highway Traffic Act charges were 82, which is way up. Break and enter reports, business and residential, were 2. And drug enforcement charges were 3, but that doesn't include the joint forces operations. That's a separate thing altogether, and I don't have the numbers on that. I could get them if anyone wanted them. So that concludes my police report.
I see a number of them are quite a bit lower, from traffic accidents down, and quite a few there.
Yeah.
Even the theft reports
Yeah.
are lower.
And I think Mayor
December.
Stewart was, what they said was because of the storms and people just not out around and breaking the law, basically. It's a good thing, but we weren't out doing other things either, so, yeah.
According to that, they got more speeders, I think, though,
They did, they got some more speeders, yeah.
or traffic charges. I'm
Traffic
not sure what they
charges.
are.
Yeah, that's right.
Thank
So,
you. Any questions for the chair on the police report?
Not so much, and I just don't want to, in case you're going to mention it, but at the Long Service Awards, it was really nice to see Chief Dave Poirier there.
It sure
You know, we all
was.
miss him.
yes, we
And it
miss
was
him.
nice,
He's
so,
looking great,
yeah.
and he's, being pretty active there, I think, yes. Thank
Okay,
you, Councillor McColeman. So I'll go into the fire service report. There were 35 calls for the month of January. A structure fire, 4 medical first responder calls, 13 alarm panel calls, an appliance fire, a site smell of smoke call, 2, 1 flue fire, 3 carbon monoxide calls, a false alarm, 7 miscellaneous calls, and 2 cancel calls. So firefighters trained for a total of 303 hours for the month of January. And so we'd like to congratulate Jim McColeman on his retirement from the department, following in his father's footsteps. Jimmy joined the fire service on February 10th, 1987, and has spent the last 35 years of his life committed to serving our residents. So congratulations to Jim McColeman. And thank you, Jim. The average number of calls answered in January over the past 17 years has been 16. This year, these calls have been more than doubled at 35 calls for the month of January. So that's crazy, and I know that has a lot to do with the weather and, the emergency calls that they would have got for medical calls, and a call to the public has gone out looking for new firefighter recruits. Applications have been received and will be screened over the next few weeks. Summerside Fire Department recently received a COVID Warrior of PEI Award for their outstanding efforts during the COVID pandemic. When restrictions are lifted, fire services will have a presentation here at City Hall with that. That concludes my fire report. Any
Thank you.
questions?
Any questions for the chair of fire services? I do not see any speaker lights on. Do you have anything further to add?
That's all I have on that. I just have my emergency measures report.
yes, you have
and
another
then
one, right.
I'll be
Go ahead.
finished. Okay? So this is the Emergency Measures Operations Report I received from CAO Rob Philpott. As part of its ongoing emergency preparedness efforts, the city and all municipalities are required to submit an approved emergency response plan to the province. The city's plan was formally endorsed by council and its monthly meeting in January. It was developed many years ago, but has been refined over time to reflect changes in our response practice, reception centers, and partnerships that we have developed and or strengthened, especially over the last couple of years. This plan has also been reviewed and endorsed by the provincial EMO. Like any plan, we will continue to refine it as new information and best practices become available. As a further update, we are working on strengthening our partnership with the Red Cross and enhancing their presence here in Summerside. When responding to an emergency, the ability to access resources from a key partner, such as the Red Cross, is critical when time is of essence. I will provide further updates on my March Emergency Measure Operations Report. And
Thank
that's
you.
it. Thank you.
Is that all you have then? at
That's
this
all I
time?
have.
Okay, we'll continue on.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Councillor McDougall, how are everything in municipal services? You got all the snow removed?
We do, so far. Just
Or did
wait.
the weather helped with that?
Yeah, the weather helps. That rain's done some great work. Anyway, I do have a report here from Director Greg Goody for Municipal Services. Staff at the sewage treatment plant continue to perform their major maintenance. And the following snow removal efforts were completed from January 11th to February 13th, 2022. Plowing of roads 9 times, parking lot plowing 9 times, street salting 19 times, sidewalk salting 12 times, sidewalk plowing 10 times, downtown core removal 5 times, fire hydrant cleaning 5 times, boardwalk, or below the sidewalk cores 5 times, and 10 days of blower work. And I just want to pass along a big thank you to the staff at Municipal Works, Owen McDonald and his crew, because it's pretty easy to complain when we have that amount of snow, but they did a tremendous job, and we thank them. I also want to thank Kernan Briggs, the local contractor out my way and out Wilmot way, and they've done a great job, and you know, when they're called on to do things, they get it done. So I also had a compliment that I wanted to pass along for the cleaning of the boardwalk. I get stopped a lot of times for the odd complaint, but I do get a lot of compliments, so I just want to pass those along too, right? But the boardwalk is in great shape, and they keep it that way, so really appreciate it. Public Works repaired several street signs this month, and Public Works has repaired many potholes. This is pothole season, folks. The traveling public is reminded to be careful driving, as with the freeze and thaw cycle occurring this time of year, potholes can occur in the road and can cause damage when drove over. We have a number, and I believe it's 432-1268. So if any of our residents happen to see a major pothole, please give that number a call. The pedestrian push buttons have been reviewed based on the CNIB presentation to council and are being worked on to have repaired to the proper locations. Just a couple of stats here. There was 24 water samples taken and all clear of bacteria. 12 chlorination samples taken, all within parameters. 7 water turn-on, turn-offs. 8 sewer calls this month. 2 new water services installed, and 1 water main break was repaired on Gallant Street. And there was 413 tons of biofertilizer were created this month at the sewage treatment plant, so congratulations. That's all I have, Your Worship. If there's any questions?
And you've got two speakers lights, Councillor Adams and then Councillor Drawn.
Thank you, Your Worship. I just had a quick, probably should do a shout out to McCausland's for,
Yes.
they had to do a lot of digging ditches out. We had a lot of people with a lot of water damage and,
Yes.
it-
Staff were, yes, the McCauslands were called out. There was a lot of, it's funny, the only problem we had, areas we had a problem was where we have ditches.
ditches.
Just wanted to point that out, but, yeah, it was. Anyway, no, they did a great job. And I know that there was a lot of high banks when you have that amount of storms. And, but people, some people are reasonable, some people weren't. But for the majority of them, they understand. So it's something to be. Councillor.
Councillor Drawn.
Thank you. I just wanted to, both on behalf of myself and on behalf of many residents, just send a thanks out to the crews and Municipal Works. When you have the snowfall like we did 1, 2, 3 weekends in a row, it accumulates, and sometimes the first pass, the second pass, the third pass just doesn't get it all. And I had a few calls and messages just about just sight lines at intersections where you gotta inch out and I passed them on to CAO and they weren't long getting out and correcting some of those things. So just wanted to thank the staff for doing that, and also on behalf of the fire department, when they clear the fire hydrants, you pull up to a call and you get a shovel out a fire hydrant. That adds, could be precious seconds. So they do that as well. So I just wanted to send a thanks out to all the staff for that as well.
Thank you, Councillor Drawn. We have three lights on, Councillor McFeely, and Deputy Mayor, and then Councillor Snow.
Really just to kind of echo what others are saying, and I'm sure going to say that, the work has been quite exceptional that's been done, and I'm not sure that citizens really understand. You listed off all that water and sewer stuff that was completed as well as the fire hydrants being dug out. And those are the same guys that are sitting in the seats of the plows.
That's
So
true.
that was done in addition to the snow removal that we had to have done. So it's been I know it's been a tough couple of months for them. So
Thank you.
And also, Councillor Bruce, I think after all of us as council members going through the budget process, I think we're all very aware, just like with municipal services, the sewer, the water, all of the things, like all of the costing for those kinds of things, and tech services and electric. So they do a great job, and I know even in my ward there were some people that had difficulties, and through CAO Rob we were able to get that worked out with the snows. But just a real shout out to the crews, because they do a fantastic job. They really do.
Appreciate that, and I'll pass it along.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. Councillor Snow.
Just on to your point earlier there, where McCausland's construction was out clearing some ditches, have we had them out, or is it practice to sort of be proactive? I know tomorrow we're supposed to get +5 up to +7 with rain, and I just wondered if anybody was out today looking at areas where we might end up having some locations that would be troublesome. I know I was in
think they were
Charlottetown.
the problem areas were looked
Okay,
after the last time, so
yeah.
they should be all right, I believe, but,
Okay,
but there was a lot of work had to
yeah,
be done the
yeah,
last
for
time.
sure. Yeah, thanks.
Thank you. Any further questions? If not, do you have anything further to add?
The only thing I'd like to add, Your Worship, is I too want to pass on condolences to John Turner and his family on the passing of his wife, Carolyn.
Thank you.
So thank you.
Yes, I've known John Turner for a long time. He served on the Waterfront Development Board, SRDC, when I was a member there, and fine gentleman he was, and we pass on condolences to his family. Okay, well. Oh, yes, and same with Ted Henderson, yes. Fine gentleman he was, and pass on condolences to Ted and all members of his family. And Councillor Campbell, how are things in the windmills and the electrical? And
I don't have much of my report left to read. Everybody's commented on it. That's why I chirped in there when Brian was doing his. 3 large winter storms generated multiple after-hour service calls. Guess it's not a surprise to anybody. There was no major outage, so that's a good sign. City-owned Christmas light displays have been taken down and put in storage. We've had some trouble with traffic lights. Water Street, McEwen Street traffic light. Water and Queen Street traffic controller repaired. Granville Street and Roy Boats Avenue traffic light. Granville Street and Walker Street traffic light. Granville Street and Heather Moist traffic line repaired. Repaired the street light, First Street and Summer Street. Repaired the timer at the outside rink. 3 heat for less heaters. 33 and a 0.1% for the windmills are down. February's mostly a good month. If we had one windmill that was down, had a clutch problem, I think, for a couple of weeks. Generator run hours, that was to support the load that we sent to Western PEI. I ran the generators for 32.6 hours. 17 new electric customers, which is great for this time of year. 5 electrical service upgrades, 4 new poles were installed and 4 removed. And we made 51 service calls, and I shortened this up, and the boys have certainly been busy the month of February, and that's my report.
Thank you, Councillor Campbell. Any questions for the Chair of Electrical? I do not see any questions, so thank you for that report. And we'll continue on, I believe the Community Services is next. And just before you start there, sorry, Councillor Snow, but
All right.
Maritime Electric's increase, I believe, has been announced for March 31st, is it? March 1st. Oh, so I'm not sure what the feeling is on that. I know council will probably have to throw it around. But anyway, that wasn't mentioned in the electrical, but it's a decision coming up, I guess, for council. The floor is yours for community services.
Thank you, Your Worship. The new year kicked off with plenty of outdoor fun, active winter programming and facilities. Crews worked hard to get 2 outdoor ice surfaces up and running, along with groomed trails at Heather Moist Park and Rotary Park. 3 snow hills were also constructed, with 2 at Credit Union Place and 1 at Queen Elizabeth Park. These outdoor facilities, paired with existing boardwalk, have made for plenty of fun during the winter months throughout the city. Staff has planned plenty of programming with family skate at Queen Elizabeth Park, snow painting at Credit Union Place, snowshoeing at Heather Moist Park, and fat biking at Rotary Park. Come mid-January, Credit Union Place was forced to shut down in accordance with COVID-19 guidelines and restrictions. That said, the shutdown provided staff with ample opportunity to conduct maintenance and other tasks that would not normally be accessible. Plenty of painting, cleaning, ice maintenance, and tiling was conducted over the 2-week period. Credit Union Place also launched their rebrand during this time and the signage to go up with it, giving users a fresh look, inviting them back when we return to the facility. With the dome inflated, crews continue to work on the indoor finishing of the facility, such as painting of the lines, pouring of rubber crumb, grooming the turf, hanging over 80 LED lights, installing football uprights, and much more. Construction continues on the Welcome Building as well, but the official opening is nearing, and staff are extremely excited to have the facility up and running. Interest from the public and user groups is extremely high, and we've already had more than 6 local organizations sign up with agreements to use our facility, which is great. The Woodlot management project got underway at the Rotary Park in January as crews began mobilizing Stand 1, which is near the main roadway into the park. This extensive project will be ongoing and has a focus on forest fire prevention, wildlife management, invasive plant species management, silviculture, and most importantly, tree planting and regrowth. The bowling lanes and aquatic center saw 16 total themed birthday parties for the month of January, while the Veterans Convention Center saw a total of 10 bookings. These numbers are significantly lower than normal due to the 2-week closing. That is my report for community services.
Thank you. So I believe Councillor Campbell had a question?
Not a question, just a comment. I was fortunate enough to be at the Caps game that night, and it's some darn nice to have them back on the ice again. So wish them the best.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
Good
a
crowd too.
good start to being back at home with a 10-0 win, and I think they had 10-0. Yeah, that was a good
Over-
win, and
Over
and
1,000 people.
over
eh?
1,000 people in attendance, which is always good coming out of COVID restrictions. You never know how people are going to react, but the good crowd there, and it was a great hockey game, and we're gearing up for the Fred Page Cup, and that'll be a great event for our city, and we just look forward to a strong playoff run with the Caps.
I understand the dome opening is Thursday?
Yeah, we have the grand opening for the Dome on Thursday. There was already some users in there already over the weekend, giving her a trial run, and it's an impressive facility. Our community is very fortunate to have it, and we look forward to the grand opening.
I have
Thank you, Councillor, or Deputy Mayor.
We were out for the Canada Day flag raising at Credit Union Place, and I noticed some of the senior staff were interviewing. It looked like students, so they must be starting to look for students for summertime work.
We had some positions to fill, not necessarily for summertime work, just front desk positions that we need to fill. So anytime, I would encourage anybody looking for work to get a hold of our HR department and chat with them about working
Great.
within the city.
Yep.
Everybody I talk to that works within the city enjoys it, and it's a great job for a student or somebody looking for a change in work or
Yep.
a new beginning. So I would encourage everybody to.
Yeah, and I just want to compliment you, Councillor Corey. You seem to be, there's a lot of different things with that department, but you seem to, cover the different things that are going on. You try to keep people informed or whatnot. I see you popping up in different places, so you must be busy just trying to keep those things, but you're doing a good job there.
I try to be active and
Yeah.
engaged, but JP keeps me informed on what's going on, which is always important to have that relationship with your director, so it's always great.
Okay, I do not see any other.
Thank you.
I believe we've gotten to the end of the agenda. Pardon? Okay, I guess we've gotten to the end of the agenda. Is there a motion to adjourn? Moved by Councillor McDougall and seconded by Councillor Adams. All in favour? Aye. Contrary, nay, carried. Brian will just take a